Although I talk about kicking an awful lot and practice it even more, I actually haven't kicked at goal in a game in over a year. But with Harpenden changing rooms starting to look something like a World War II medical tent with the amount of injuries we've been getting, I am returning to the spotlight for the spot kicks. And let's just say it didn't always go 100% to plan my first time back. But that's enough about me. This week, Harpenden have a chance to take themselves out of the relegation battle, at least for a couple of weeks, as we take on Amersham and Chilton at home. And oh boy, did this one come down to the last kick of the ball. I'm talking squeaky bum time. My first pressure kick in years. Can I land it? Honestly, it was a code brown when I stood over there. Honestly, my white pants would have been brown. Make sure you subscribe to the Level Up Rugby YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all the behind the scenes as I bring you along the journey of what it's like to play at the highest level of English amateur rugby. Hello team and welcome back to the Level Up Rugby YouTube channel. I hope this finds you unbelievably well. As always, it finds me back here in the Level Up Rugby studios, apologising for the lack of pre-game content. And that leads me nicely on to my first question of the vlog. Do you guys enjoy the pre-game content? Like what I'm getting up to on game day before the game, or even potentially what happens in the week at training leading up to a match day? Because if you don't, and you skip straight to the match footage, then I can just continue on just doing game day commentary. I don't mind. But if you guys like seeing what I get up to, then of course I'll continue to include that moving forwards. But this week I was in what I like to call dog mode. I was just locked in for those 80 minutes of rugby. I don't have any excuses come the end of the game. Not that this really distracts me pre-match. If anything, it helps me to relax going into a game, having to, interview players before a match and whatnot. But yeah, let me know if it's something you want me to continue to do, because in this situation, I didn't want to have any excuses come the 80th minute that anything was distracting me. So in this situation, there wasn't any, but yeah, if you'd like to see more pre-game content, please just let me know down below in the comment section. Or if you'd rather me just skip straight to the comms, then so be it, we can do that. Just please let me know down below. That is the first bit of admin out the way. The second bit of admin is to remind you, whilst you're down there commenting whether you prefer pre-game chat or not, to like the video and also to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps me out a bunch to know the videos are doing well, and I appreciate you subscribing for the journey that is Regional 1 South East. Harpenden are in the mix in the middle of the table now, and this game can either propel us up or push us down. We're playing bottom of the table, A and C, Amersham and Chilton this week. It's going to be a tough game and a must win at home for the Harpenden boys. And speaking of the Harpenden boys, it's time to get into the team sheet. Starting at number 1 is my number 1, Big Lou, in a very familiar looking front row, unchanged from the previous game against Bedford. Middleton and Campion finish off that lot. It's a good, strong team up front, and that continues into the engine room. The powerhouse of the scrum, Jeffress and Lacey, the skipper. Again, another familiar looking set of names there. Good to see some consistency back in the Harpenden team rather than chopping and changing every week. But speaking of chopsy changes, PC, Constable Wardy, returns to the Harpenden team. It's good to see him back in a black jersey for the first time. And no, you're not mistaken. That image down below that you're seeing right now, that has not been superimposed. It's not been enlarged. He is just that big of a human being, packing down at number 6. Usually plays number 8, but good to have him on the field regardless for his ball carrying capability. Safe to say, he won't be going up in the line out. Those lifters you see on his legs will just be a ruse, a dummy lifter, because he's just a straight up ball carrier and a big brutish boy at that. And speaking of which, we have Connor Underchop, Chopmeister General Connor Underwood playing open side. And speaking of chops, George Atfield returns and continues to play for Harpenden this season in the 8 jersey. Good to see him back last week, getting on the scoreboard as well. So it's safe to say our pack is looking strong this week, and that continues into the back line. No Joe Adams this week. He is off on international duty, one can assume, because he's just that bloody good. But instead, we have the silent killer moving from his wing to scrum half. He couldn't keep off the scoreboard last week. Let's see if he can do the same this week. And following him in at 10 is the rudder, steering the ship, Luke Boynes, into midfield. It's a slight change you'll see this week. I have moved position for the first time this season from inside to outside centre to put Cutler in off the bench. as there's a bit of a mix-up in our backline. So Cutler Beers is starting at 12. I'm in at 13 for the first time this year. And that means that Danny James, DJ, is finishing us off at fullback. His more familiar position is on the wing. He's been playing centre, but he can do a job at the back as well. Hopefully you'll see that this game. And of course, accompanying him is actually a new name. Howes, Will Howes, comes onto the wing for us. And of course, the old, familiar, reliable Matthew Shaw, our resident South Africa, can't keep off the scoreboard at the moment. Let's see if he can dot one down today. My odds are on him 100% every time we step onto the field. And onto the bench, call them the bomb squad. Call them the Harpenden Bomber Boys, because George Rolfe, the powerhouse front row, is going to be getting probably a good 20 minutes off the bench as he's rotated to have a cigarette at half-time. And on that theme, Murphy comes into the side. Hopefully he can bring his experience with him. And talking of experience or lack thereof, Jack Francie, the young boy, 18 years old, is finishing us off at scrum half to cover for those positions. He'll bring plenty of energy in the second half. And speaking of halves of rugby, let's get into the first one straight away. As you can see, it is Amersham and Chilton in their white and burgundy striped kit against the All Blacks of Harpenden. And we have essentially what is the version of a Wish.com Nemani Ndolo kicking us off. He plays on the wing, he's a big ball carrier, but he also has a fine deft touch on the ball with his right foot, unlike Nemani Ndolo's left foot, but hence the Wish.com. But it's Harpenden's ball, straight from a scrum, and we're looking to play early. I play a long looped ball, just checks Howes on the wing, and he takes the ball into contact, and we are off underway. Me just inspecting that ruck. Wilkie almost gets taken out at 9, but we have a man down. Oh, God, that's not what you want to see early in a game. Amersham Chilton's one of their biggest ball carriers. Had to go off with a head injury. I hope he is doing well. All the best. I know what that feels like. But either way, Amersham and Chilton are on the attack inside the Harpenden 22 for the first time this game. 7 minutes into it, and they are rumbling forward. This has been a problem for Harpenden all season. Defensive mauls, and ANC are just picking us apart. But we seem to hold on just about. They play into midfield. 2 loop passes. A batted ball over the top, and Nemani Ndolo carries through the tackle. You can see what I mean now. And he's just going trundling forwards. He's got a bit of toe, he's got a bit of size, and that is why he's the Wish equivalent. But George Atfield cuts a man down at the ankles, chops him like a tree in the autumn. But ANC, they are all bundled around this ball. They love playing rugby near to the ruck, and they've managed to find a way to burrow their way over early on in this one, and Harpenden behind 5 points to nil. 8 minutes into this one, can Nemani hit it? No, he can't. Stays at 5 points to nil. Perhaps doesn't have the deft touch of Nemani Ndolo after all. But again, hence the Wish.com. Awful bit of chat there. I've got to find something new for that bloke. Anyway, ANC look to exit, and they find their way all the way up to the halfway, but Wardy touched that one. Constable Wardy needs to get his head in the game early on here. It's been a while out of rugby, but can't be letting that one sail over your head. Wardy, classic Wardy, always letting the ball go over his head. Either way, ANC on the tack, and they finally look to stretch the ball. I get across with a cover tackle. Just about managed to get on that one, pull that guy through the ruck. And we make another big shot, forcing them all the way back to the same breakdown. That's how you defend, because you can see all their attackers are all round the ruck, but that's exactly where they go through the middle. Bit of footwork to get outside DJ, and often you see that, and he's in the corner. Goodness me. ANC love to play around the ruck, backing onto short sides, and that time they just went straight through the middle of it. And an absolute swinger in from the left-hand side. Blimey, what a nudge from their winger. Okay, so now it's 12 points to nil. A point a minute for ANC at this rate. It's not the start Harpenden want, as we often see here at Redbourn Lane. But it's our time, our turn to turn the screw at the maul. But we're just eventually stopped. But Wilkie's digging that one out of there. He's got his hands on it. Can he get the ball away? He seems to have joined them all. Wilkie, no, we want the ball, mate. And BC brings it away. Of course he does. That gorilla grip. Pause. Getting that ball out of there. The cuts on the carry. He'll always give us a focal point, as Chris would say. A point to work around the corner from, which we do, but Wardy coughs it up. That's 2 touches, 2 errors from Wardy. Not what we want to see. And they are on the outside. Winger's got a bit of pace to burn here, and he nudges it in behind. Running at full pace, that's a tough skill. And Shawsey didn't fancy touching that one until it went all the way around him and back to the other side. But he sweeps up at the back, thankfully. Shouldn't be letting those ones bounce. But of course, there's DJ there to clean up. Call him the janitor with that mop of a haircut, because he always just cleans up at the back. Finds a way to get the ball away. And it's this time, it's this time it's Harpenden to be on the attack, getting a bit of a tongue twister going on early on. Lacey plays at the back, bit of jouet from the boys, but Lukey decides to put his head down because we're pretty unprepared outside him. We've got to stay alive in those outside channels. What's going to happen here? Pick and go early from BC. He loves to get his hands on the ball, get his trotters moving. And I say, you know what? That's enough of that. Let's get down this end. I want to play in this half. Camera glitches out a bit, but you can see I find space, find grass, turn the backfield players who are back on their own goal line, and that should be a good yardage gain from us. It's the benefit of turning wingers and finding grass to give yourself time to chase. But I don't fancy picking that one up, and I knock it on, but of course, I knew what I was doing. I knew they were offside, and if I had picked that up, then perhaps the referee wouldn't have blown it, so of course. I win the penalty for the team, all decided ahead of time, but we go to the corner. Well, the 22, not the best nudge from me, but it was a windy day, as you can see from the flags blustering. So we decide to go to the catch and drive and tip on. My first carry of the game, just get over the top. Little bit of a roll, getting some extra yards there, and Wilkie picks from the base. Atfield gets chopped down himself. You don't usually see that. But Wilkie gets the ball back again, and he gets sniper rifled. Oh my God, someone just shot him out of the blue. But Luke is on the carry again, and we're over. Goodness, that was staying on top with a bit of momentum there from Wilkie coming around the corner. My time to convert this one. Can we get on the scoreboard early on? We can indeed. 20 minutes in, it's 7 points to 12 for A&C. Wilkie bringing his running game. You can see why I put him on the wing often, because he is elusive. But A&C are back on the attack. They have another chance here, back inside the Harpenden 22. They've been pretty lethal so far this game. They go from edge to edge. Good to see them stretching the ball. DJ shuts the gate from fullback. Sweeps things up for us. They carry off the edge. Pretty narrow stuff. Don't make it outside the 15s, but they love to snap back to a short side. I'm pretty sure A&C love playing rugby inside 15 metres of space, because you'll just see them bounce back and forth and back and forth. It's an absolute man test, as you have to make 3 or 4 tackles in a row, as you can see from me here. They're fatiguing the same defenders and making some yards in the process. It's an interesting strategy. But as you can see, those defenders out in the wide channels are getting a bit bored, perhaps even a bit cold at this time of the year, because they're not doing an awful lot. But the boys are just making tackle after tackle after tackle in that 15-metre space. Not sure what happens there. Underwood gets on the wrong side of it, and A&C are keeping the ball alive. Almost made a way through the defence. But no, we come back for the penalty. A&C, of course, go to the corner. They've been pretty successful there so far. And it's this time a 5-metre catch and drive. They've gone over from a further way out recently. Can we stop them this time? He's dropped down on it. He's dropped down on a ball that was knocked on over the goal line. That one was a bit of squeaky bum time for the boys in black. We managed to find a way to keep them out just about, even if it was an unforced error from A&C. They'll be ruining that mistake as Harpenden are back on the attack. 7 minutes to go in this first half. Can we make anything of it? Cutler and I run the same line, and Luke just sticks it dead. Spin! Spin! As I shout on the back on the golf course to get the ball to spin backwards. But no, that's not how it works in ruggers. And that one goes dead. But it's this time for Harpenden to attack. I've made it all the way back there and get shotted in the head. Classic. I don't know how you make a high shot on me stood at 6'3", but they found a way to do it, and it's our turn to go to the corner. Can I put this one 5 metres out? You bet I can. That one was a little bit interesting. Definitely didn't go dead. 100% not dead. That one went straight over the dot on the sideline, and it's Harpenden's time to attack, and we are rumbling forwards with the catch and drive, and we are over. A bit of hesitation there from me. I don't know why, because we are on the scoreboard. My time to convert, and I just blast it at the winger who's trying to charge me down. Rugby bricks. Have a word with yourself. Peter Breen, what's going on with my tee? It wasn't even that windy. The ball just fell off. Very frustrating. So it's now tied game at 12 all. Harpenden versus A&C here is a tight one. As you can see, both bottom of the table. And it's a pressure situation. Ball comes all the way back to me, and I stick it very high, but not very far, and into the middle of the pitch. You don't want to give them a split field like that, but it's absolute chaos, an absolute mess, as people are just deciding who gets the ball here. A&C have it. They come up with the ball. Not much going on in attack. They play out the back, look to kick again and behind, but Shawsey just covers that one. He's charging down, he's picked it up, and there's a foot race to the corner. Can he win it? No doubt he can. He slides in. I told you, that boy, he struggles to keep himself off the score sheet. He is that dangerous, potent. I come from the sideline, and we miss it. Ahead by 5 points going into the changing rooms. Quick turnaround at half-time. As you can see, we're off, underway with the second half. 5-point lead for Harpenden. Can we extend it? Because we know A&C are going to come back into this one. We can't seem to park the bus here. It's only going to bring them onto us. So, yeah, it's now time for A&C to trundle it up. Through the middle from a free kick from the scrum. Bit of an interesting call from Mr. Sir, but we let the boys play. A&C getting sent backwards. The defence of Harpenden, although we leaked a couple points from set piece, has been strong. We look to turn it over. I don't know what that call was for, but it's this time the turn of A&C to go into the corner. Another interesting corner kick. Lands 5 out, and defensive mauls seem pretty optional for both teams at the moment because A&C have found their way over on the sideline. That is the way you come back in a second half to put the pressure on Harpenden. It's 17-all. Game is tied again. That kick isn't hitting a barn door, one might say. But the game's level. A&C back in their own 22 just say, have it, and play down that end. That's where they want to play, and that's where we have the ball now. On the 50. Can Harpenden make anything of this? Cuts with the ball. Outside gets chopped down really well, but we're quick to it. Coming around the corner, trying to play fast. It's the only way we can seem to get on top of them at the moment. But that one's pretty slow. So it's a set defence against us. Out the back comes to me. I carry straight into someone. Seems a bit high again, but I get sent back in the tackle. Got to find some weak shoulders there. Oh, steady on, sir. He gets roly-polied backwards. Gets a bit of crumb in his whistle too. That one was comical. Nothing came from that penalty for Harpenden, so it's an A&C line out, playing out from their own half, 30 metres from their own goal line. Can we keep them here? This is the area of the pitch we want to be playing in, but they decide to go, you know what? Never mind. Nowhere. Wardy on the carry. Sit down. There he is. That's what happens when you get him on the front foot, and that is what Harpenden are now. Playing out the back to me. Lift to DJ, who plays out the back door to me again. Bounce to the outside. Can I get the ball away? No, the offload is forced, and it goes to Deck. Oh, we get in behind and just cough the ball up. So it's a scrum to Harpenden, and you know what's going to happen here. It's a scrum on the front foot. I knew it was going to happen. That's why we got the pen. And Wilkie, he finds his way over. Caught the defence sleeping on the short side. A bit of A&C tasting a bit of their own medicine. Playing back down short sides. And Wilkie finds his way over. That's why, obviously, I knocked the ball on. Just a bit of clarity on that after I land the conversion. I knocked it on, A&C's scrum. We got a penalty from the scrum. So we go scrum again. That's why it was our put in. So it was all, again, a bit of tactical genius from yours truly to find a way over. And this time we're playing again. I get banged in midfield. Again, running lines at 13 is more difficult than I gave credit to before the game. I'm getting shotted regularly here. So it's a learning curve, a steep one. Cuts comes around the corner and offs himself up. Harpenden forward seems to be getting a bit tired. So Luke decides to have a go himself. Throws a great cutout pass to Underwood in the wide channel. But we can't seem to make many meters here and get driven back at the breakdown. DJ again sweeps up. Makes his way into midfield. Elusive carry to me. I just get sniped again. The same sniper sat on the top of that balcony in the gantry. You can see took out Wilkie early in the game and sniped me here as well. So I get turned over with no support at the breakdown because everyone was expecting me to carry the ball rather than just fall over. So A&C go back to the catch and drive. They scored twice already from the catch and drive. One pick and go through a ruck, and they are on the way forward again. Harpenden repel them, do they? It's a long way away. I can see an orange shirt running towards the post. Penalty, try. A&C guaranteed 7 points, ties the game back up, and a yellow card for Harpenden brings us down to 14 with 12 to play, 0 in it on the scoreboard. Pressure's on now for both these sides, looking for a scalp to claw their way from the bottom of the table. And A&C are back on the attack, looking to close out the game with 9 to go. Carry from their big forward carrier. Underwood chopped him down every opportunity throughout this one. It was a 1v1 battle between those two off first phase. Great cutout pass to Nomani Nandolo down the sideline. I just make a shot on him. Again, not finishing my tackle. Shock seems to be the theme of this season. and we just bring him down. He is a dangerous man with ball in hand. And A&C are back inside the Harpenden 22. We know how lethal they can be from these positions. And it's squeaky bum time on the scoreboard. A penalty will do it for A&C. A try would be even better for them. We're making it hard for them at the breakdown. Down a man, may I remind you. Oh, God. It's getting stressful for Harpenden. Big carry off the sideline. Gets go forward. In behind, we're moving backwards, but it's slow ball from the breakdown. But I tell you what, they love a short side. They love playing in 15 metres of space. But this time they started to stretch it. Side lateral movements from the attack. Oh, good line, but I chop him down just about. He rolls on. And A&C have gone from edge to edge. Big carry again. What will they do from this one? Playing off 10. Interesting. Haven't seen that all game. And you can see why, because Murph picks it off. The bomb squad's on. Rolfie's inspecting that ruck after Murphy saves Harpenden inside the last 10 minutes. And Lukey says, I've had enough of this. Let's get out of here. And get out of here he does, getting the ball off the park. A chance for us to reset before another set of defence. Up to the opposition 50. A&C ball again. This time playing from 60 metres out. Let's see if we can keep them in these areas and hopefully win the ball back. Long pass and they decide, you know what, we prefer it down there. Let's make a mistake down that end. At least they won't have the territory, but you know how dangerous DJ is. And he brings the ball back with a vengeance. Carries to the outside, brings almost up to the 50. That's a 10-metre gain for A&C, so not ideal for them. And we're back on the front foot. Great work from DJ, and the boys are looking to play now. The back to Underwood. I wanted that ball earlier, but I give it even earlier to Shawsey, the danger man, in space, beats one, and brilliant offload to keep the ball alive. Chaos at that ruck. Cuts, plays away to Big Lou. Always reliable front foot ball from the big boy. And someone's just getting in the way there. I was going to say, from that big carry, A&C have to roll away and they can't quite manage it. That's how dangerous the carry is from Big Lou. And we decide to go for the points. My first pressure kick in years. Can I land it? You better believe it. Ice in the veins. As you can tell from myself, I was bricking it. It was a Code Brown. Lucky we weren't playing an A&C's kit because my shorts would be ruined. That's how squeaky bum that one was. But managed to find a way to get the clutch kick over. And Murph on the carry again. He's been a super sub for Harpenden. He's changed the whole way this game's gone for us. Turned the tides, one might say. And Lukey says, let's get back down this end. Scrag tackle. Hearty stuff from the halfbacks. Francie and Luke chasing after those ones. And A&C are just finding any way to hold on to this one. Kicks it down the danger man's throat. Shawsey in space. What can he do with it? Find space? No, he runs straight into a defender. That's classic Shawsey. He finds a way through them. And it's a high shot. He knew what he was doing there. That guy is a tactical genius. Draws the penalty for Harpenden. I say, Lacey, I've got it in the locker, mate. I've got the toe for this one. But he's like, no, you don't, mate. We're going to the corner. Because I definitely could not have the range for that. So we go to the catch and drive. The odd reliable. Attacking mauls have been good for both teams today. Defence has been optional from the set piece. What can Harpenden do here? It's a slow, static one. Francie's trying to dig it out like he's searching for gold in a gold mine. He decides to join it and get his head in there. And he finds a way to knock the ball on for the boys. That is not what you want, Francie. But it's a brilliant scrummage from Harpenden. We almost find a way over. Interesting movement from the back line of A&C. Knock on. Ooh, they're not happy about that one. They are not happy, but we find a way to get a knock on, and we know the scrum's going well for us. So it's a pack down. Clock's in the red. Harpenden march forward. That is the Blitzbocker bomb squad of George Rolfe, Murphy, BC, Mids, Lou, all of them. Even the lads on the bench are making that one count, and you can tell here they're a bit confused while we're going for the points. The game's over. Points difference, we say. That guy, you can see him there, actually challenged me to do a no-look kick at the end of that one. I thought, we've already won it. Why not? I almost messed it up and missed the kick at goal. But I did do a no-look kick, so that guy owes me a pint. Oh, my God. That one was scrappy. Scrappy-dappy-do. But Harpenden find a way to get it done on the scoreboard, on the league table. We now have a bit of breathing room. Finally, after a sketchy start to the season, we are now a bit more spaced out, which is nice, but the buffer is not reliable because all these teams are scrapping for points this league. This season, it's a competitive league. So we'll be back again next week with another game day vlog. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. Apologies for the rogue chat on comms, especially to that Namani Nundolo wish.com lad. I mean, no disrespect. It was just all for the love of the game. I hope you've enjoyed. Please, again, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel. Tell me whether you prefer the game day vlogs to have preamble or not. And in fact, actually, I'm passing over to the sideline. It's OJ with Underchop. Man of the match performance. How did you get on?
I tackled him with my face.
Dick of the day. Oh, no.
Dick of the day?
I don't know if you'll edit it in here where it went a bit on the floor.
Probably didn't make a cut.
It fell off the tee.
Right as I was here, roll VT on this.
Yeah.
Right as I was here, it just goes and just falls off. So rugby bricks, have a word with yourself. But it did come into the best bit at the end. I was honestly, it was a code brown when I was stood over there. Honestly, my white pants would have been brown because I haven't been in a position like that
to get the score. Yeah.
The man from Bournemouth University, Bournemouth boy myself. Talk to me, mate. What happened there? I think you must have made about 15 tackles, all on the same person as they run off the back of the line out, mate. Talk me through it.
I mean, he's an old friend from an old club, so I saw him in the team sheet. I thought he's got to be my guy today. But the boys stuck at it, put in a really hard performance.
Yeah.
Made it hard for ourselves, but at the end of the day, as we said, it's 5 points in the table.
Yeah,
so
the table don't lie. The table don't paint a picture. It's like the same as golf. There's no pictures on the golf scorecard. So we'll take the win. It was we made it very hard for ourselves. It was, well, you already know that. But we did
it felt good.
Yeah, well done, buddy. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good man. Well done.
Oh yeah.